One of the moves of God that has been pronounced in the last maybe 10-15 years over the nation of Nigeria is a revival. Now the revival is not a major move in God, it's actually a recovery protocol too, because God started something and people moved away. But I call it a move because it involves a lot of things. So for example, in the revival now, so we can come into a year, and when God finds out that based on my teachings, I teach that there are 6 stones that are required to be laid in the foundation of any revival. If God finds out that a lot of prayer is going on, but we have lost out on the word, he can inspire and say this is the year of the recovery of the word. That statement does not negate the reality that there is a move to orchestrate a revival. He just wants to realign us with our journey. Are you getting me? These things I'm talking about are purely wisdom things. So that's how seasons come into being. However, you will waste a season even though you heard the name of the season if you do not come into that same plane of wisdom that God declared his intention from. I'll give you a physical example. So David meets a sister, and you don't have plans to get married now. Are you planning? Good. Don't plan. So you don't have plans to get married now, but you meet a sister, and Jesus says make friends with that sister. And you ask, and you say it's the devil. It's the devil. Maybe there's an aspect of your life that Jesus wants to walk, and the only way he can walk that aspect of your life is to make you get close to this sister. Probably that sister is even going to be your wife, but Jesus wants to use a jot of affection that he drops in your heart towards that lady. I hope you know God makes people affectionate towards other people. The look on your face is as though, does God make people like people? The answer is yes. So what have you people been doing in our gender-based fellowship? You did not tell them in sisters unit that God can make a sister like a brother. Yes, because when you got saved, if you don't, now when we get to the wisdom, and that's what is in that portion from Samuel, if you don't acquire the wisdom, because this is what I'm saying, you need wisdom to come into God's level of wisdom. That's where I'm going. So if God has defined a season, there is a wisdom that you need to engage so that you can come into the definition of that season. When you got saved, what was saved? Your spirit was saved. So what happens to your soul? Is your soul supposed to participate in the economy of life? Okay, what are the constituents of your soul? Your emotions, yes, your will, and your intellect. That's your mind. Good. So those are the constituents of your soul. If we want to validate the participation of your soul in the economy of life, then it means that your will, your emotions, and your intellect will function by the laws of the spirit. What it means is that because your spirit, the expressions in your spirit is no longer original, is a substituted reality that saved you. Are you getting me? Am I supposed to teach these things again this year? Okay, don't worry. Now, it was man that sinned, it was not God that sinned. And we said many times that because man cannot die for himself, because there was a specification for the kind of man that will be able to pay the price. That man will not know sin by experience. He can only know sin by carriage. It means any man that is born that practices sin once is disqualified. Are you with me? So the demand was for a righteous man, not a forgiving man, to die for man. And all along what we had were good men, wicked men, sinful men, innocent men. An innocent man is a man who has never been tempted before. He has been drinking garri all his life, so when he sees pizza, he thinks it's dog food, and so he's not tempted to steal it. But if he eats pizza once, he has lost his innocence. Now he has the propensity, that's the word, to be tempted with pizza, because now he has tasted it. Are you with me? So innocent men can't even die, because we are not sure what you will do if you are implicated with the knowledge of that thing. For that purpose, Jesus had to go beyond innocence. He had to ascend into the highest possible expression of man, which is called righteousness.